5 simple repairs that dealerships and auto stores charge you 5x more for. Actually, we will make it 9. And the thing is, you can fix them yourself in a matter of minutes. Ever gotten that sinking feeling when you pull into a dealership or mechanic shop for something you consider minor, and suddenly the service writer is rattling off a laundry list of problems that are going to cost you hundreds of dollars? Yeah, that's no accident. These are some of the oldest car repair scams in the book, and the truth is, a lot of these jobs are laughably easy to fix and you can do it yourself, even as a newbie. They don't take special tools, you don't need any training, and you can fix them in a few minutes. But the reality is, mechanics, auto stores, and dealerships won't tell you that, because keeping you in the dark is how they keep their profit margin high. After years of working on cars, I've watched customers get overcharged for repairs that I could do blindfolded in less than 5 minutes. And the thing is, these aren't the big repairs people expect to be expensive. These are the tiny little jobs nobody talks about. That's why they're so profitable. But once you know these secrets, you'll never fall for them again. By the time we're done, you'll know how to spot these ripoffs, how to easily fix them yourself at home, and most importantly, how to save money on car repair instead of lining the dealer's pockets. Let's start with one of the sneakiest and easiest of them all, the cabin air filters. Ever notice a weak AC or maybe a musty smell inside your car? The mechanic or dealership will gladly charge you $100 or more to replace your cabin filter. Sounds important, right? In reality, that filter is sitting right behind your glove box. Here, this is it, held in place by 2 little clips. It takes longer to unbuckle your seatbelt than it does to change it. Most filters cost $15 at the store. That's why they love selling it to you, because they know you'll assume it's buried deep in the dashboard or in the car hood. How to fix it yourself? Open the glove box and unclip the stop so it drops down. Slide out the old filter. Slide in the new one with the arrows facing the right way. Close it back up and you are done. Not rocket science. That's a $120 service handled in less than 3 minutes. Moving on, let's talk about batteries. I've seen so many people tricked into buying a new battery they didn't need. You go to start your car, it struggles, and the dealership or mechanic says, "Your battery is weak, let's swap it out." Sounds legit, right? But most of the time, the battery itself is perfectly fine. What's really happening is corrosion on the terminals. That white, crusty buildup blocks the current, so your car thinks the battery's bad. They'll sell you a $200 a battery when all it needed was a 5-minute cleaning. How to fix it yourself. Mix baking soda with a little water until it's paste-like. Take a cheap brush or an old toothbrush and scrub the corrosion. Rinse with clean water. Dry it off and tighten the terminals. Your dead battery is now alive and well, for free. Yeah, that's all it took. Another classic money grab is headlight bulbs. When one burns out, the dealerships and mechanics will call it an electrical service and slap you with an $80 to $150 bill. But let me ask you, have you ever changed a light bulb in your house? Then you can change a headlight. It's the same thing, just with a connector and a socket. Most bulbs are under $20, and swapping one takes maybe 5 minutes or less. Yet they love charging because they know most people are nervous around anything electrical. So before I show you how easy this usually is, I would like to quickly say that in some modern cars, particularly brands like VW or Audi, changing a headlight bulb can be a little bit complex, sometimes requiring the removal of the bumper. So these steps might not work for this brand/models, but always do a quick online search for your specific model first. Now, for everyone else, here's the simple fix. How to fix it yourself. Open the hood and find the back of the headlight. Twist the socket to unlock it. Unclip the old bulb and pop in the new one. Don't touch the glass. Twist the socket back in and you are good. That's it. No magic, no special tools, just knowledge that keeps you from falling for one of the easiest auto repair scams out there. Now, here's one they love to exaggerate the most, the engine air filter. They'll hold it up during an oil change and say, "See how dirty this is? Your car is struggling to breathe." And of course, they'll charge $60 to $100 to replace it. But here's the truth. That filter is sitting in a plastic box under your hood, usually held by 2 clips. Literally, this is it. Pop it open, drop in a $15 filter, and close the box. Done. They count on you never lifting the hood to see how simple it really is. And don't even get me started on windshield wipers. Every dealership and mechanic shop in the world has made a fortune off wipers. They'll throw it on your service ticket as premium blades installed and charge you $50 to $80. When in reality, wiper blades are the easiest thing on a car to change. They're designed for quick swaps, so even the average driver can do it in a parking lot. So check your bills whenever you visit the mechanic shop, and if you see a charge for wipers, ask them to take those out. You can literally do them yourself. How to fix it yourself. Lift the wiper arm off the glass. Press the release tab, slide off the old blade, snap on the new one. 2 minutes, $10. That's it. But the scams don't stop there. Let's keep going, because the next one sting even more. Take brake light bulbs. When one goes out, mechanics or dealerships love to charge diagnostic fees and labor. They'll hit you with a $75 bill for a bulb that costs $5 and takes less time than tying your shoes. Most brake light bulbs are accessible right through the trunk or tail light housing. Twist, swap, done. The reason they get away with this is fear. Nobody wants to risk driving unsafe or getting pulled over, so they pay whatever it takes. Or how about tire pressure sensor resets? Ever seen that little TPMS light that stays on even after you've filled the tires? The dealership or mechanic will gladly charge $100 or more to reprogram the system. Sounds fancy, right? In most cars, it's literally a reset button under the dash, or it resets on its own once you drive a couple of miles. Worst case, you buy a $20 reset tool online and never pay for this again. Then there's one of the most ridiculous ripoffs of all, Key Fob Batteries. Your remote stops unlocking the car and suddenly, the mechanic or dealership says you need a whole new fob, $150 easy. In reality, it's almost always just the little coin battery inside. A CR2032 battery costs about $3. You pry the fob open with a flat screwdriver, swap the battery, and you're back in business. They prey on panic here. Nobody wants to be stranded with a dead key, so people pay whatever they're told. And finally, fuses. This one drives me crazy. Say your radio stops working or your lighter socket dies. The dealership and mechanic will call it electrical diagnostics and charge you $100 a pluser just to poke around. But 9 times out of 10, it's just a blown fuse. Your owner's manual shows exactly where the fuse box is. Pull the bad one, push in a new $1 fuse, and the problem disappears. They use big words like diagnostics to make it sound complicated, when in reality it's the simplest electrical fix there is. So let's recap what we've just exposed. Cabin filters, batteries, headlight bulbs, engine air filters, windshield wipers, brake light bulbs, tire pressure sensor resets, key fob batteries, and fuses. 9 of the simplest jobs on your car, and 9 of the easiest ways dealerships and auto repair shops quietly drain your wallet. These are the dealership secrets nobody talks about because they're too profitable to reveal. They're not big breakdowns, they're not engine rebuilds, they're little things designed to fly under the radar. And now that you know them, you'll never fall for these car repair scams again. The reality is simple. If you want to know what to do if a mechanic scams you, start by knowing these tricks. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to say no, and always check the basics before you hand over your keys. Knowledge is your best defense against being overcharged. So the next time you're in a shop and they tell you something urgent needs fixing, stop and think, is this really complicated? Or is it one of these simple little jobs I can handle myself? Because when you know the truth, you're in control. And that control can save you hundreds, even thousands over the life of your car. If this opened your eyes, make sure you stick around, because my next video here is going to reveal the top 13 mechanic scams that cost drivers more money than anything else on the road today. You'll want to know them before your next visit to the shop.